we have an absolute insane amount of new Switch 2 updates. Like, seriously, guys, this is a packed video, so grab your popcorn. Let's hop right into it. So the Nintendo Gamecube and Nintendo Classics actually did receive some good updates and a good adjustment to the CRT filter and other controls. So I know this topic may sound boring, but I promise it's actually really good news. You can see right here, the recently released version of 1.6 of the Nintendo Gamecube Classic app has brought noticeable changes to image and controls in the game, including an updated CRT shader and improvements to analog stick behavior when playing on the Switch 2. One of the points mentioned is the existence of an updated CRT shader that now uses HDR. The analog stick reach now also feels better, mentioning an improvement on the analog stick calibration linked to test performance, and then they tested it on games like F-Zero GX. Which is great news that they're actually doing these little updates for the GameCube Classic side of things. So now some of the games with like wonky controls probably are going to feel better now. We actually have a lot of THQ announcements here. So we have Destroy All Humans 1 and 2, Epic Mickey, Rebrushed, and then SpongeBob for the Switch 2, which is kind of insane. I guess throughout this entire year, we'll also be getting all of these titles. And these are some classic titles. I mean, I'm not too sure about that SpongeBob game, but of course, I know people love the Destroy All Humans games, especially the Epic Mickey games. I mean, that's pretty cool. The Switch 2 does seem like it's just getting all of these games like ported or brought over to it, which is really cool. And I have a video I'm going to drop very soon about all the first party, like the big games, like why we haven't really been having a ton of these big first party brand new Nintendo games. Kind of like that we all thought we would by now. I mean, like I've always been mentioning, we do have a pretty good handful of those good Switch 2 first-party exclusive games, but obviously we need more. And I'm really excited to make that video, so make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the post notifications so you don't miss it. And I'm also trying to reach 10,000 subscribers, so any support truly goes such a long way, guys. Thank you so much. Let's get right back to it. So Nate the Hate also claims that a Switch 2 version of Starfield is actually still in development, but not a smooth process. Of course, here's the original tweet, somebody asking like, hey, any Switch 2 versions about this? It's still in development, but it hasn't been a smooth process. Cross fingers and hope for the best. And Starfield is a pretty big game. I mean, it would be pretty cool if we did get this on the Switch 2. And this is one of those games that actually was an Xbox exclusive game, but no longer. So this game dropped in 2023. I was actually really hyped to play this, and I never actually played it. And then recently they announced that it's gonna go on to PlayStation, which makes sense because Xbox seemingly they're just putting more and more things over to the PlayStation, Halo and stuff. So it's kind of crazy, but that might be good news for the future of Switch 2 games, I guess, because hey, maybe we could be getting Halo on the Switch 2 eventually, or Forza Horizon. I mean, those games, you know, it's a maybe, definitely a maybe, but it would be really cool to be getting these huge titles like those games onto the Switch 2. And like I just mentioned a couple minutes ago, it does seem like all these huge gaming companies are really enjoying putting their games over to the Switch 2 because the Switch 1, they just couldn't do that before. So it opens up these possibilities for these other gaming companies to be putting their games over to the Switch 2, which is so cool. And it's good for us because these games look really good on the Switch 2. I mean, people have been praising the Switch 2 for how it's been able to run all these games, and it is really cool. I'm looking forward to the future of, I guess, Xbox games on the Switch. Hopefully, maybe eventually we could get some PlayStation games over on the Switch 2 as well. But honestly, as of right now, I'm happy with that. And we also have this update about the Switch 2, how it surpassed the mark of 1 million units in Japan in 2026. That's 6 times more than PS5 sales also in that year over in Japan. And here's a whole list of the sales and stuff in Japan. Hokopia is crushing it. Monster Hunter Stories 3 up there as well. Resident Evil, Mario Kart World, surprising. That actually is kind of crazy. Animal Crossing, dude, is still holding in there. Look at that, bro. The next Animal Crossing game is going to be huge. Eventually, I will make a video about that, but we don't really have any solid news. But man, Animal Crossing still just crushing it. And here are the console sales. So the Switch 2, number 1. PS5, number 2. And then surprisingly, the older Switch consoles are still selling very well, even better than just the basic PS5 and PS5 Pro. I honestly do think that's crazy. I know the Switch 2 is more expensive than the older Switches, but I feel like if you're going to be buying a new Switch, I'm surprised more people aren't just going for the Switch 2 and are getting the older consoles. We also have this post, which is very interesting about Pikmin, maybe. So they actually have patented a Switch 2 version of Pikmin 4 with extra content. It seems like Nintendo, they're giving more exclusive Switch 2 versions, I guess, to older games, like giving them big updates or maybe even little updates. But here are the patents right here. I mean, kind of hard to like decipher what exactly is going on here, but still, you can see they are real patents, dude. It's so cool to look at patents. I don't know what it is. There's just something so interesting about it. But anyways, that's about all for today. Just a bunch of huge updates, and I would say overall this is good news for Nintendo. Like, big games coming to the Switch 2. Xbox games, Starfield, that's a huge game. Hopefully they can pull it off. as of right now, it's kind of like 50-50. They're working on it, but it's not going very well, I guess. Anyways, hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you are real and watching this far in the video, comment down below horse, just the word horse. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.